Greetings and hello, this is Michelle Oliver. My team and I are really excited to get started working with you. And this video is just to review a few things that we've already likely talked about, but just as a refresher for top of mind. So we work with a wide range of clients, all of who want to harness the power of digital marketing. And although Facebook, Google, and YouTube are all very powerful tools, it really is important to understand the strategies, why they work, a little bit about how to use them, and what expectations are realistic. So if you are doing some digital marketing, it could be Google AdWords or Facebook ads, Google My Business page optimization, whatever you are doing with us. Um, as our client, you need to know, obviously, that your investment is being put to good use. And I just want you to understand and know that we have the shared goal of growing your business through attracting the ideal prospects that can then be developed and converted into ideal clients. So I want to talk for just a minute about leads. What is a qualified lead? So the definition for a qualified lead can really vary from business to business. While some people may define a qualified lead as someone who just provides a phone number or email address that has been verified, some define a qualified lead as someone who has been contacted already by phone and is quite further down the line in the sales process. But for lead generation purposes, again, the industry and the offer that we are providing on Facebook can determine what makes a qualified lead. For example, a lead for a mortgage broker is going to fill out a longer form than maybe someone for a medical spa or a jewelry store or a real estate lead. So, for our purposes, when you're thinking of what makes a lead a quote unquote qualified lead, we define that as someone who has an open, interested response to your ad. So, basically, they have engaged with your ad and they have provided some information. It's likely either a phone number and email and name, sometimes address, sometimes they'll be filling out a longer form, again, depending on the industry. So think of it as out of these masses of people that are on Facebook, a few people are coming forward. Now, as a business, you are only as successful as the leads you generate. This is actually a quote from an interview that I saw with Tom Ferry, who's a kind of a real estate trainer guru kind of guy, and Gary Vee, who is an insane author, speaker, social media, business, entrepreneurial, crazy, amazing guy. But I pulled this from the interview because it really jumped out at me and I think it's very accurate. So he says, it used to take 80 conversations to make a sale. That was 5 years ago. Now, talking to 49.5 people based on my research will result in one sale. So the bottom line is the more leads you get, the more sales you make. And whether you consider leads good or bad isn't what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is volume. So, in order to get down to the people that are actually going to convert to real customers and clients, the strategy on Facebook is to cast a larger net. The more volume that you can get, the better the chance you have of, closing those few people that will actually convert into clients and customers. So, in that same interview, it was interesting because Gary Vee reminded us pretty much at the beginning of that interview that Facebook is one of the absolute best places to spend advertising money. And this is true just because this is where people live. This is where they are social. This is the water cooler. This is the marketplace. This is where people are interacting, asking for recommendations. So that's why it is so powerful. But it's very helpful if you've not done lead generation through Facebook before to just think through how the strategy works. Okay, so you put the ad out there. A few people are raising their hands. They have noticed you. They've filled out their information, right? Now what? So when a prospect engages with you, you have basically, in their world, come out of obscurity, at least for a time. Depending on your industry, there are a couple ways that you can proceed. So when they have raised their hand and supplied you with this basic information, it's great if you want to call them to connect. But if they do not answer or reply, you do not want to waste your time chasing those leads that are not engaging. So the stats say that prospects will navigate 70% of the customer journey, and this is when they're opting in through digital marketing. So prospects will navigate 70% of the customer journey without you. So how does a business help potential customers through it without contacting them? So again, like I said, it's perfectly fine to give them an initial phone call, but if the phone number is wrong, if they don't answer or reply, you don't want to waste your time chasing those leads. And we actually implement a follow-up system for you, which keeps the relationship moving forward, and it allows you to remain engaged without spending or wasting any of your time. It also allows you to continue to deliver value. High quality leads are the ones that you want to spend time with. So this is when you have to exert some patience, even though they look really, really good. So you just kind of, if somebody engages with you via text, you want to reply initially with supplying them with some valuable content. So you can send them a text. It might be sending them a loan application or connecting them to a realtor or a loan officer, or inviting them in for an appointment for a jewelry, a customized fitting. Just depending on your industry, you want to be, think of it almost like a dating scenario where you want to be engaging, but you don't want to scare them away. Okay? So this brings us to the psychology of Facebook leads, patience and courage. And I really do see too many people dip their toes into Facebook ads, get scared, and then walk away after spending, whatever their ad spend is, 300, 500, 1500, 5,000. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing, but that initial spend and getting no results. But from my perspective, a little bit further along the road, these people haven't given Facebook enough time to really optimize who it's showing your ad to in the first place. So each time your ad shows itself to a person, it's a bit like a shot in the dark. Your ad may speak to a lot of people, but in the end, you don't know who you are showing your ad to yet. So over time, which can take about 50 to, which means about 50 to 100 leads coming in, that allows Facebook to really get a sense of who is responding to your ad. When you put up an ad for the first time, you'll see it's actually in what they call a learning phase. And this is where Facebook is literally learning which people best respond to your ad. So for this to work, you need to be a bit more patient and strong when it comes to your starting budget. 50 to 100 leads is really that magic number for Facebook to get a sense of who will convert. and it can optimize for conversions. So this is also where you need to ask yourself the question, is Facebook the best avenue for me? Think about your cost per lead. If your leads are costing about $10, then you're going to want to put down $500 to $1,000 at least before you walk away and decide this is not working. Each industry and business is different. Depending on how many leads you want, I often advise people who want to generate leads on Facebook to put anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000 to their ad spend to start out so that they can feed Facebook the data it needs. Now, again, that number could be a lot less depending if you're in the fitness industry or you are just on a trial to see how this is going to work. Your ad spend is going to be significantly less. But patience is what separates the winners from the losers on Facebook, because you inherently need to spend the time to get to know everyone that responds to your ad. So you want to just kind of shift your perspective here and change the way that you're looking at this so that you can see the value before you've actually experienced it, which I understand can be challenging. Okay, so even though an ad can be delivered to a detailed, targeted audience, it does not mean that that audience is instantly ready to make a purchase. So again, we need to help our prospects navigate the buyer's journey with follow-up systems that don't scare them away. Now, we already have those in place for you. And this is a huge facilitation toward walking them towards conversion and closing. But we want to meet them within their comfort zone and offer and provide them with value to build a relationship of trust. So you want to remember that even the leads that do not convert may very well have future value to your business. That you're collecting emails to build a list, for one thing, so you can create a follow-up email campaign. You can build likes and comments on your post. That builds social proof for your ad over time. You can engage directly with people who comment on your ads. That helps move them down the line to becoming a client. And then we can retarget those leads to your site as warm traffic in the future. Again, set up an email sequence, which we already have a piece of that for you. And you can invite people who've liked or reacted to your page post also to like your Facebook page. So just to wrap all of this up, I just want to reiterate that we have the shared goal of growing your business, right? And even though things may not happen as quickly as you like, we want to keep our focus on the big picture. So be aware that what we are doing right away is increasing visibility and creating a steady flow of prospective customers or clients who didn't even know about you before. And this is what creates fresh opportunities for you to be of service to more people. So our goal is for you to be successful, to stay with a campaign long enough that you can experience that success. And our goal is to exceed your expectations so that in the end you can give us that thumbs up and say, yes, this is awesome, it's worked for me. And I just want to thank you so much for your time, and we are very excited that you are on board with us. I want you to go out there, be of service to people, and make today a great day.